Hi, I'm Magella Ferguson. I'm the Manager of International Development for the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences at the University of Queensland. Today I'm just going to give you a brief presentation about some of our programs. Okay, our faculty is a very large faculty and it's made up of 8 schools. We have the School of Education, the School of Journalism and Communication, the School of Political Science and International Studies, the School of Languages and Comparative Cultural Studies, the School of Social Sciences, which includes criminology, sociology, archaeology and anthropology, the School of English Media Studies and Art History, the School of History, Philosophy, Religion and Classics, and the School of Music. We also have a number of research centres and institutes. I just wanted to highlight our research centres and institutes because a lot of our academic staff work and do their research in these institutes, but also your teachers in the classroom. So we have the Institute for Social Science Research, the ARC Centre of Excellence for the History of Emotions, Asia Pacific Centre for the Responsibility to Protect, the Centre for Communication and Social Change, the Centre for Critical and Cultural Studies, the Centre for the History of European Discourses, the Centre for the Government of Queensland, and lastly, the Rotary Centre for International Studies and Peace and Conflict Resolution. I just wanted to highlight some of our facilities as well. The Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences has 3 museums that are based on campus. We have the R.D. Mills Antiquities Museum, the Anthropology Museum, which is the largest anthropology museum in Queensland, the Art Museum. So students are able to, even if they're not studying museum studies, are able to have access to these museums. So while they're studying, they can actually go and visit our museums. We also have the Archaeological Teaching and Research Centre. Now this is actually a dig site which allows our archaeology students to actually practice the techniques on campus. We also have archaeological science laboratories, the Jeffrey Rush Drama Studio, which is for our drama students, the Interpreting Centre built to United Nations specifications. Now this is for our students who are doing our Master of Arts in Japanese translation and interpreting or Chinese translation and interpreting. We also have a music performance facility for our music students, and that has 2 Steinway pianos. We also have the Hive, which is a networking social learning space for students in our faculty, and it's located in the main Social Sciences and Humanities Library. We also, in our School of Journalism and Communication, have an Ideas Centre and an in-house radio station called Jack Radio, where students broadcast live. So lots of facilities for our students. Now, because we're such a large faculty, we have a number of programs. At the undergraduate level, we have the Bachelor of Arts program, which is kind of our cornerstone or our highlight program in our undergraduate stream. We have the Bachelor of Communication, the Bachelor of Journalism, the Bachelor of Education, both primary and secondary, so that allows students to become teachers. Those 2 are actually 4 years because that's what the Queensland College of Teachers requires to become a registered Queensland teacher. We have the Bachelor of International Studies. The Bachelor of International Studies is quite a unique program because it incorporates a study area in international studies or political science. It also incorporates a language. Students have to do 1 language in that program, and they also have to do, it's compulsory, to do exchange overseas in that program. We also have the Bachelor of Music, which is also a 4-year program, and the Bachelor of Social Science, which is a 3-year program. So most of the programs are 3 years, except for the Bachelor of Education and the Bachelor of Music, which are both 4-year programs. For our postgraduate suite, we offer the Graduate Certificate, the Graduate Diploma, and the Master in these areas. So we have the Master of Communication, the Master of Applied Linguistics, the Master of Development Practice, the Graduate Diploma in Education. Now that is a 1-year teacher preparation program, which allows students with an appropriate bachelor's degree to gain a teaching degree within 1 year. We also have the Master of Teaching Primary program. I'm going to highlight this program a little bit further later, but that is a master's degree which gives you a qualifying degree as a teacher, and that's over 18 months. We also have the Master of Educational Studies. Master of Educational Studies is aimed at students who are already registered teachers and who want to do some professional development. So for people who want to become maybe a principal or a counsellor in their school. We have the Master of International Studies program, the Master of Governance and Public Policy, the Master of Arts in Writing, Editing and Publishing, the Master of Arts in Chinese Translation and Interpreting, and the Master of Arts in Japanese Interpreting and Translation, the Master of Music program, and lastly, the Master of Museum Studies. So as you can see, we have a very diverse and large range of offerings for our students. Okay, I'm just going to highlight a few programs today. We have the Bachelor of Arts, as I said, is kind of like our cornerstone undergraduate program. The great thing about this program is its flexibility. So students can pretty much design the program that they want based on their interests. So there's 40 majors that the students can choose from. We have the best selection of language majors in Queensland. We offer 9 languages. It's a very flexible degree and allows you to go into many different postgraduate programs at the end of completion. We have internationally renowned scholars. We have research-driven teaching in our classrooms. The curriculum is very internationalized. There's lots of opportunities for work-integrated learning, which means we want students within our programs to have real-life experience. And we think that this program prepares you to be a leader in your field in whatever occupation you choose to go into. Now, when I said it's flexible, there are rules, but within those rules, there is flexibility. So we really ask students to do either 1 major or 2 majors, and then they can choose free electives, or they can do an extended major if they're interested in one particular area. They can do more courses in that particular extended major. They then have to do a minor, which means they have to do 4 courses in a separate discipline, and then they have free electives. So when we talk about free electives, students can choose from an array of different courses across the BArts major list. For students who want to do psychology, because of the accreditation attached to the psychology program, students have to do the extended major, which is 28 units. So they have to do 14 courses in psychology. They must also do a minor in a separate discipline, and they only have 12 units electives, so 6 courses of electives, but it still gives them that flexibility. Okay, I also wanted to highlight our Bachelor of Communication program. It's a 3-year program, and it is also a flexible program. Students have to choose a major, and they can major in communication, media and culture, mass communication, organisational communication or public relations. They also have to do core communication courses, but then they have the choice of doing 16 units or 1-year study, 8 courses. They can choose free electives, or they can choose a minor in a certain area. So they have a lot of flexibility to try to incorporate their interests into this program as well. Now, students can also take an internship under this program from a range of different media outlets. They can also practice communication in the changing world, so we're trying to keep up to date with all the new technologies. There's integrated work learning, integrated learning as well. Something that we've had students do the past 2 years is travel to Vietnam and actually do stories from Vietnam. So that's been a really exciting challenge for our students. We've also got really great purpose-designed built facilities. So these encourage independent learning and the production of web-centric convergent journalism and communication. We have our radio station, Jack Radio, and that is a station run solely by our students, and that's 24/7. And the school, we're the only school in Australia to offer courses in communication and social change. Now, the Master of Communication and Social Change is a postgraduate program, and that may also be an area that students are interested in. Communication for social change may not be readily understood, but what it is basically going into developing countries and working with local people to help them understand when there's going to be big changes in their area. Okay, at the postgraduate level, I'm just going to highlight 2 programs today. We've got the Master of Teaching Primary program that I briefly touched on before. So to become a teacher in Australia, or in Queensland in particular, you have to have either a 4-year undergraduate degree, a Bachelor of Education degree, or the Graduate Diploma in Education, which is a 1-year degree, which you have to have an appropriate undergraduate degree to go into that, or you can go into a Master of Teaching Primary. Now, this program only started in 2014, so it's relatively new, but it allows you to become a qualified primary teacher at the master's level in 1.5 years. So it's accredited by ATSL and the Queensland College of Teachers. So ATSL is the Australian Institute of Teaching and School Leadership, and that pretty much sets the professional standards for teachers. There's a 60-day supervised practicum throughout the program. It is the first and only nationally accredited Master of Teaching program in Queensland, which is something we're really proud of. It has a distinct program with an emphasis on classroom practice and facilitating professional development. So students actually connect very early on with schools, so that increases their employment opportunities as well. The School of Education also was ranked 10th in the recent QS World Subject rankings. So you're working with one of the best schools. The only thing is students need very high English language. So most of our programs require an IELTS of 6.5 with a 6 in each subband. For this particular program, students need to achieve an overall score of 7.5, and they must have a grade of 8 in listening and speaking and a grade of 7 in the reading and writing component. So just please note that that is a higher English language requirement, and that is because you're working with students, you need to have a very high level of understanding and comprehension. Also, the Master of Museum Studies. This is a program that gives students the possibility of gaining the professional experience and contacts in the workplace. So really looking for students who want to go on and work in museums. Students can do short-term internships and placements with this program, and they can also choose from a range of electives. Now, they can choose electives from anthropology, applied history, art history, classics, event management, interpretation and visitor research, professional writing and science communication. So again, that flexible offering which allows students to really focus on their interests. It's a very niche program, but we're seeing a lot of interest from international students. Okay, just lastly, I think there's a myth that a lot of students don't think that there's a lot of placements or internship opportunities with humanities and social sciences. So I just want to bust that myth. We have a number of our programs, and most of our programs actually do incorporate some sort of work integrated or internship opportunity. So for our education students, that's a requirement. They must do placements. So they must go into the schools and have that time teaching in the schools. Communication, there's a public relations internship opportunity. Journalism, there's an independent study in journalism and communication course that students can do. Development practice, so the Master of Development Practice, there's an independent study. Bachelor of International Studies, as I mentioned before, there's a compulsory semester abroad component attached to that program. Political science, you have applied fieldwork practicum as well. Museum studies, you have field school. You can also work and do internships in the Queensland Art Gallery, at GOMA and the Queensland Museum, Ipswich Art Gallery, UQ Art Museum and the State Library of Queensland. So lots of opportunities there. Also languages. We're very keen on getting our students who are studying languages to actually go overseas and go to the countries where they're learning that language. So short-term study options for those students, and also with our social science program. So, you know, if you want to have this very hands-on and work integrated learning internship opportunity, then we have the programs that can offer you these. Lastly, our alumni. We have a number of high-profile alumni, and they have completed some of our programs, the Bachelor of Arts, We have Jeffrey Rush, who's someone who probably stands out for most students. So if you have any questions, you can contact the faculty. Our email is has@inquiries.uq.edu.au. Okay, thank you.